Hello, and welcome to Cardboard and Plastic. Today's video, I have a PSA reveal. Over 4 months ago, I sent in a special for vintage. I think it was like 15 bucks a card. Over 4 months later, it gets returned. Actually, they shipped it out yesterday. It got to me today. I wasn't expecting it. Heard dogs barking. I'm like, who's at the door? And the FedEx person stood around for a while, so that was great. So I was really kind of surprised to get the order back today. I wasn't even checking the tracking information. With this order, I'm just kind of used to it now that PSA is grading 1 grade harder for most cards than they have in the past. It is what it is. I think that they're just more technical right now on the grades. And really for me, it doesn't bother me because I kind of know like in the past, like that 6 was a 7. So if I go to eBay, actually as a collector, I kind of use that to my advantage that if I see a really beautiful 4, 5, 6 on eBay in a PSA slab with a new cert number, it's going to be not a 4, 5, 6 in the past, but a 5, 6, 7. I mean, these cards were graded pretty harshly in my opinion, but it doesn't matter. A lot of these are for my PC, and a lot of other collectors are kind of realizing that. And if I have a nice 6, it sells for what a 7 used to sell for. So I'm not too worried about that. Really, I don't like to sell cards that much because I just want to use that money. I'd rather trade, but a lot of people don't like to trade. So I'll go through this order. This one I thought was going to get a 6. Of course, it got a 5. This card kind of upsets me a little bit because not of the grade. It's because, and as long as they're consistently grading a little harsher, I'm fine because I know what to expect. It's the slab that they used for this one. Do you see they like put it in a plastic sleeve in a different case? That bothers me. So I thought it was going to get a 6, maybe even possibly a 7. It's very sharp and also just looks really clean, but it is what it is. A Floyd Little rookie. I mean, these things are just hard to find centered anyways. And the card itself, the reason I want a slab, it's just great registration on it. Beautiful white and blue on the back. So it goes to my Football Hall of Fame PC. This card I thought was going to get a 6. Of course, it gets a 5. The reason I bought and graded this card is the centering is amazing. So if you go to eBay, go to ComC, type in 1969 Topps Yaz there, and you'll see that finding centering for this card like this is very rare. This is almost a perfectly centered card. Absolutely gorgeous. So this card, Dick Buckus, this is a 1970. It was left to right, centered okay, top to bottom off, but I mean, this is a beautiful 6. Thought it had a chance at a 7, but the centering probably did that one in. All right, this card, let's cover up the grade. This card's from 1963, and the reason I graded this card is it looked perfectly centered. It looked like somebody just took it right out of the pack, and it got an 8. And getting an 8 on a 1963 Topps card is great. I'm putting together a Hank Aaron run, and you know what? Hank Aaron's on this card, so probably keep that for my PC there. Or maybe I'll sell that. Like people that do registries, right? They try to get cards all in 8s from like that year. So sell it, maybe get a 7. This is the same seller on ComC. By the way, I think every single card here, besides maybe a couple, are from ComC. And the person that sold that also had this card. It was a little bit off-centered, but again, it looked like they just grabbed it from a pack and put it in a top loader and kept it in perfect condition. So a beautiful 7 on a 1960 Hoyt Wilhelm. This is a beautiful Johnny Unitas. Thought I had a chance for 6 to 7. Probably some surface issues on it, but looks great. And really, kind of what I do on ComC and other places. Shouldn't give you some of my tricks, but one of the tricks is before I buy a card, I don't look at the front that much. Before I really analyze the front, I look at the back. And the back can tell you a lot, right? So we have a little rough corner here, but I mean, with the black edges of this, I mean, this is a beautiful card here. And it's ridiculous, like these 1960s, like Bart Starr, Johnny Unitas cards. I mean, you can buy them raw for hardly anything compared to like baseball Hall of Famers. I mean, these are just like some of the greatest quarterbacks. And speaking of quarterbacks, Hall of Fame rookie card of Ken Stabler. And deserves a 6. I mean, it has a couple of print defects on it, like most of these, but nice centering for that card. This card I thought had a chance of an 8 or even higher. It just really depends on how they grade, and this is the O-Pee-Chee, and it has a natural rough cut. And that's just how these things. This card is great surface, great image. That's a great card. But it has a rough cut because that's how all the O-Pee-Chees are. And that's what gives these cards character. So I just wanted this slabbed up for my PC. I'm working on all the Hall of Fame runs of all the Topps cards. And actually, I look for O-Pee-Chee over Topps. I just like them a lot better. All right, so 3 more cards. I got 2 big cards at the end. So this card I bought from ComC. It beautifully centered. I already have a PSA 7. And that's a really hard grade to get because of these black borders. And this card got a 6. That's a great grade for the Ted Simmons. And so this is one card that, you know, I have the 7, so I have to go into like, I'm going to look at both cards, look at the centering, and maybe sell the 7 and keep the 6 and use the 7 as trade bait for something else. And plus I already have a Burt Bylevin, but I have that in a 6. So I think it's just best to have both in 6s and get rid of the 7. All right, the 2 big cards. Both of these are from the same seller on ComC. This was $45. I looked at the price afterwards, and I thought this was a 7 all day long. And again, with PSA, got a 6. It has a rough cut edge, right? Some of these things, but that's like a natural cut from the factory. But this is a great card, great image. And again, right, that little print line that's on every single one of these, that's not a scratch. And got a 6. All right, and the 6s still sell for like $150. So it was well worth me grading it. I do have a nicer card that's better centered, better corners, better everything. And I have it in a CGC 8.5. I'm actually pretty... I bought many of these raw, and every single one graded well, like all 6 and above. I got an 8.5 and a 7.5 from CGC, and those are the 2 top grades they ever gave out for this card. So another one, and I think I'm just going to keep that one as well. Just really nice example. And the last card goes for one of the big runs that I'm working on is my Hank Aaron Topps run. And I got this one for $75. I thought I had an outside chance at a 7. The one problem with this card, if you see it here, there's a couple print defects on it, but the image is beautiful, nicely centered. Little corner issues, but these like wood borders, they do like little tiny issues stand out 10 times more than on typical white bordered cards. So pretty happy with this grade. And they do go for, right? By the way, I have a 6 from, I got graded, I believe it's a 1965. Hey, Garen, I should have actually got out and compared. I mean, the 1965 6 has like a little, like, the corner's messed up in the bottom, and the centering's way worse than this, right? So, I mean, if I submitted this 3 years ago, this card would have definitely 100% have gotten a 7. But it doesn't matter. I don't really sell too many. The only cards I sell are cards that are like doubles, triples that I upgraded from, and then I just use that money to buy new raw cards to grade again. So, pretty happy with this order. Again, no, one of the few orders there that they didn't kick a card back for being like min size or anything like that. So, pretty happy with this order, but I think it's going to be the last time I use PSA for a while. The price is okay. I still want like under $10 grading, and that's why I use CGC for the majority of my cards. But it's just unacceptable to wait 4 months to get your cards back. They just want to grade Pokemon and Ultra Modern so people get them back. They sell them as quickly as possible and kind of keep that flip chain going through the card community, which I do not like. So, thank you for watching this video. In the comments below, tell me which was your favorite card from the reveal. Let me know if you have experience with PSA grading a little bit, like 1 grade harder than they used to in the past. And as always, have a great day and keep on collecting.